So it's early December and working on a little project. Got a couple hours this afternoon on a Sunday. And what I did was I pulled the panels off and the trim around the rear tail lights and wanted to freshen that up. It's got the original factory, paint that was on there and chrome on these bezel rings. And some of the chrome on my bezel rings was pretty bad. So I've tried to sand it as best I could with some 220 grit, and did the same thing for these rear panels right here. And what I thought I would try to do is, just as a kind of quick, easy fix, just to get it looking a little better, I sanded it really good. Of course, I didn't sand all the paint off, but I feathered it really good. I used to do body work 25 years ago, but so I know how it's supposed to kind of feel and look, and thought we were good. I tried this U-Pole filler primer straight from the can, trying to do a budget-friendly refresh here, like I was saying. But once I sprayed, got a couple areas where I left the factory paint on there, and yeah, sure enough, it's kind of wrinkled, and it's only a couple of small spots. So I think what I'm going to try to do, since I've used almost this whole can of $15 filler primer, I'm just going to try to sand it out the best I can. I do want to take some 220 and block this out so it's less orange peely, and then I'm going to spray it matte black. But a couple things that I did, like I said, I sanded it. The process was to sand it with the 220, get it looking as good as I could. Then, actually beforehand, I cleaned it with this wax and tar remover. This is really good to get off any grease and grime from it's a 46-year-old car. And so I wiped it all down with this, and then I did my sanding. And then after sanding, blew it off with a blowgun, wiped it again with this stuff here. And then after I wiped it, then I got my cheesecloth out here, or tack cloth, sorry. And you can get this at just about any AutoZone or Harbor Freight, or probably order it on Amazon. But you wipe it with this tack cloth, gets off any dust and debris that's left from either sanding or wiping it down. And then I did the same thing with these. Now, one of these sanded up really good. It's got a little bit of pitting here and there. Some of it is deteriorated. You can see right there, I feathered it the best I could. I'm hoping spraying it down with some etching primer and then some paint, that it will look okay. Again, I'm just trying to give it a little refresh. I can't really afford to get them stripped down and re-chromed. So got this self-etching primer here. Again, another U-Pole brand, got it from AutoZone. And that's what I'm doing on these. So I wanted to do a test one of these before I went and sprayed them both. So what I did was use that etching primer on this set right here. So you can see it's got the paint on it right now too. I did one coat of this VHT engine enamel silver, not this one right here. And I used this on my headers, and I really liked how it laid down and the look of the silver. And I really wanted to have a very silvery look, since it wasn't going to be chrome anymore. And then, so I've got one coat right now. You can see it's kind of a little bit spotty because I did a little bit of a light coat first, and then I'm going to come back, cover it all with a second coat of this, and then let that tack for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then I'm going to put a coat of this Duplicolor extreme matte finish. So I want it to have a matte look, not a super glossy look. So once I get all this painted up, I'll add this on to the next part of the video. So here's that etching primer I was talking about, and U-Pole brand from AutoZone. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I like the results so far on that other test piece that I did. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do it to the actual pieces. And I'm just going with I want to go with my first coat, a light coat. I'm not trying to cover everything. Give it a little tack coat. And these weren't in very good condition anyway, so if this doesn't work out, I'm really not at a loss. So anything's got to be better than what it was. And I'm trying to get about 75% coverage on this first coat, making sure I'm getting inside all my edges. Come around this way. And I got to put a second coat on, and then I'll add that silver and then the clear, so we'll do those next. After one more coat of the etching primer, of course. So we want to get 100% coverage with that second coat. And once that tacks up and dries, then we'll switch over to that silver engine enamel by VHT. Same, also got this from AutoZone. And then, like I said, we'll do that a coat of the clear extreme matte finish from Duplicolor. All right, now that that self-etching primer is set up, now I'm going to go back to that VHT silver engine enamel. Something I forgot to mention about this is it does have ceramic properties in it, so that was another reason I thought this would be a good area to put it. It's going to resist chips. I mean, I know it's on the back, it's not on the front, but you know, it's back there on the tail light. Might get some exhaust on it, dirt, whatnot. So I think this is, like I said, a good color. Once it gets on the whatever you're painting, like I said, I used it for my headers. It laid down really smooth. I really liked the look of the silver, and then with one coat of clear over it at the end, it just looks really good. If you got the matte clear, it may look good with gloss clear too, but I've used the matte and it looks really good. So we're gonna go ahead with the silver on the VHT high temp engine enamel back here on these bezels. And again, I'm gonna go kind of a light tack coat for my first coat. Don't want to get it too heavy, but I also don't want it to be chunky, because then it's gonna look rough, have that orange peel look. So I'm going with about 75% coverage right now. Making sure to get in those little, oh, I forgot this side here, inside the curves. So I often try to hit those corners first to make sure they get paint on them. Corners and the inside lips. Got a little too much over there. Corner. And that's a very visible corner on the bottom, so that's awesome. Well, if I didn't say it at the beginning, this was meant to be a little budget spruce up of the back end. I had pulled off that little duckbill piece over the back that used to go over the bumper. It's metal. There's some rust behind there, so I cut that out. I'm in the process of doing that too, but wanted to get these bezels looking decent. And then so to finish out these bezels, I said I was going to add that Duplicolor clear. But when I noticed after it dried on the test panel, look at the difference in color. There's a bit of a yellowness to it, and I do not like that. So I think I'm just gonna stick with what I got. I actually kind of like this. You know, now the more that I've looked at it after it's kind of tacked up, it's a really nice silver look, and it's already got its own kind of matte, shiny finish. I think with those ceramic properties in there, maybe it's given it a little bit of that shine from if I had sprayed it with the matte clear coat. But I like this, so I think I'm going to leave it just like this. I do not want to put that Duplicolor clear matte finish on there, because I do not want that yellow look in the silver. I wanted it to be as silver as it could be without looking weird, you know, like a big flaky silver. So yeah, so that's what I use, that silver VHT from AutoZone with ceramic coating in it. It's engine paint. I think it's like up to 1500 degrees or something like that, but obviously this piece is not going to hit that heat. But nice little budget DIY spruce up of those bezels that used to be chrome.